Hello and welcome. In this exciting episode, I make cute, bright trim, beaded trim for this jacket. The tweed that I made the jacket out of is Linton tweed from Linton Tweeds in the UK. And the beads are a mix of neon, pastel and bright. There's also some sequin in there. So I'll show you how I made this beaded trim step by step. So let us begin. So this is what the jacket looks like now. Problem with the beading videos, making the beaded trim videos, is you get to see the finished product, whereas I have to start with this. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put on this. Originally, because I feel that this particular mauvey pink is very Valentino, and the silk that I used on the inside is also sort of a rainbow of pastels and brights and neon colors that has very much been the Valentino palette for the past few years. So I was going to, I'll insert a picture now.
This is the pink, red and white one with the stylized peacock on it and the feathers. Some more gorgeous Valentino dresses and Valentino knit. So pretty.
The inspiration, especially the Valentino dress. And yeah, so I was going to use all these, but then I got out the sequins to do the base, and all I have in those is hot pink or beige, two different types of beige. And yeah, I just did not like the hot pink on this. And yeah, and then I didn't like the beige with these colors. I don't know, something feels off about it for me, doing all these colors on a beige base. It's just, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, as well as making one new jacket, well, 2 jackets each month, like to use up my uncut tweeds, I've also been working away methodically at the abandoned jackets that I've sort of half finished jackets that I have. And yeah, I was just stitching the backing to the tweed for this one, and this is the lining that it's going to be. It's not finished yet, but this is the lining that I'm using for it. And I just thought, wow, they would all be so perfect for this jacket. Like, I was going to make it up as one I can wear to conservative luncheons, and you know, as a freelancer you sometimes have to, you know, look like a female in pink and or whatever, so not wear my usual black or something incredibly colorful. I don't know, I feel like Doris Day colors go well in that sort of situation. But what I could do instead, because they do have enough conservative stuff, or you know, so I thought what I could do is use all of these for this jacket, and that way I can use the hot pink sequins as the base, and I can also throw in some magenta. And yeah, I just think they would be perfect for that. So yeah, I also happened to finally find the love heart sequins, and yeah, I was trying to find those in February to use them in February for Valentine's Day, but I never did. So anyway, I think I might use these ones for that jacket. I think that would be fabulous, which means I have to find something new for this one. So I was thinking maybe just pale pinks that are on the mauvey side, and yeah, but I don't know, it kind of seems a little boring to me. I mean, it's just loads of different pale pinks, and that's beautiful, but I don't know, I'll be wearing it with this handbag, this Valentino handbag, and I just feel like, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, I think I might use these ones for that jacket. I think that would be fabulous, which means I have to find something new for this jacket. I mean, it's just loads of different pale pinks, and that's beautiful, but I don't know, I'll be wearing it with this handbag, this Valentino handbag, and I just feel like, I'm capable of making something more adventurous than just a bunch of different pale pinks on pale pink. So then I thought, well, if I'm going to wear it with that, I may as well add some pink, some green in there. And then I thought, what if I picked out all of the colors in the silk? That's a little leftover piece of the silk that I used for the lining. And these are like, there was a Valentino dress in fluoro yellow and white, and there was one in mauve and pink, and there's some rainbow ones, and there's a bright orange look. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is use the base, beige sequin as the base, and then just do a grouped piece. I know it sounds like it's going to be hideous, and you know, it might be, but yeah, I'm going to try and mix all those colors together on this adorable tweed. So here we go. So first of all, I stretched a 2 layers of netting over a frame. If you just go to a craft store and buy a paint canvas, or a, sometimes they're called a stretched canvas, and then you just take the fabric off and you're left with the wooden frame, and then just staple gun a couple of layers of netting over the top. I used 2 layers of 2 layers of the pink was too pink, so I used 1 layer of pink and 1 layer of the white ivory color. And then I measured the jacket and got the size I would need for the beaded trim, and then I did all the sequins and made the base for the beaded trim. I'm going to make it wide because I want to use some bead clusters in this, so that's why it's 4 wide instead of just 2 or 3. And so the big bit is for the torso, so that's around the back of the neck, down the front, right around the back, and then the other front and round the back. And these are the cuffs for each sleeve. So now I will get out the large and extra large beads and the bead clusters, and I'll just lay them around on the base. Okay, I am pretty happy with the placement of these large bead clusters. These ones made out of plastic beads, so they're a little lighter. So that's sort of, if you don't understand the whole color situation, these ones are the lighter ones and these ones are full glass, so that's why I've had to group them the way they're grouped. And yeah, I think the weight is pretty evenly balanced. So now I will stitch them down, and in between I'll do some of the large plastic beads. They're solid plastic, so they're actually quite heavy too. So yeah, I'll just focus on stitching them all down and getting the weight, keeping the weight balanced and even across the whole piece. Here we go. I have done the bottom layer of the large and extra large beads, sewn them all on. Sorry about the frame. It was when I staple gunned the netting onto it, I forgot to check if it was straight, and then after I'd staple gunned it on, it was too late to move it back into shape, so I just have to do this one on a crooked frame. Not very aesthetically pleasing, but it's still quite sound. So yeah, so yeah, the large and the extra large are done. So there's a few spots where I can put some more large beads, but yeah, I'll also just do some medium ones. I've started a few medium ones, as you can see. And if you're wondering why I never put the big bead clusters in this section and this section, it's because that's where the arms sort of, when you're walking, your arms are there and your hips are there. So I just put slightly smaller beads there on all the jackets that I do, just so that they wear well. Because I tend to leave the same beading on for about 5 or 10 years, and then if I decide I don't want to redo it, then I do, but otherwise, yeah. So it has to last for a very long time. So now I will do the next layer of beads, a few more large, but mostly mediums, and a few smalls where I have to. So I'm about halfway through the second layer. It's going slowly. I always start on this side and work my way around. So it's actually pretty full. So normally I have to do 3 layers, but I think with this one, just going to have to do 2 layers, and then on top up there's obviously sections that still need going over. But I think after I finish this layer, I'll put it up on the sideboard, and yeah. But I love these groupings. I've never actually done one like this where there's color blocked groupings. It's kind of interesting to me. And I just think these color combinations are adorable. And I was a bit hesitant to use the fluoro and the tennis balls because I kind of have a rule that I never use the same thing twice in 2 beaded trims in a row. Just because I don't want to, because the jackets I make are so similar, the tweed jackets, I just don't want to fall into a pattern of making everything look the same. But this is definitely very different to the banana one. But yeah, it's adorable. I was, if I have my time over, I definitely use at least 4 different types of seed beads. Having only 3 to choose from is a little bit limiting. But yeah, I guess there's also all the other seed beads in the bead clusters. And I also really like that I haven't sort of neatened up the bottom of the seed clusters. You can still see the sort of fluoro yellow bit sticking out, and just because of this design style, it suits it so well. I'm really happy with it. And I managed to get some angelfish in. I do them sort of kiss tail in the direction, so I think that always looks cute. I've also got some flowers in here. Let's see if I can find some flowers. Some little runs of flowers, and I've also got some hearts somewhere there. So yeah, I just do it that way because I've only got a few of each of them. So yeah, and each run only has like 6 or 10 beads in it. So yeah, you can use up. I also only have a few of those pearls, so there's like a run there, and then there's a run way over there. So yeah, just a good way to use up lots of different things. So yeah, I will keep going, but I'm really liking this. Just got the other half to go. I'll get there eventually. Finish the second layer over all of them. Now I just have to go over the whole thing and just fill in some of the holes. There's some gaps in the edges. There's always gaps in the sides that you can't see. So I have to go back and fill those in and fill in some of the sections. But overall, I was going to do a 3rd layer with bugle beads because I'm a little concerned that there's so many seed beads of the same size. But I was going to do another layer with these bugle beads in teal, tomato, and the pastel primary colors, so the yellow, sort of blue and pink. And I just thought that would break up these color blocks and sort of, in breaking it up, also sort of make it more uniform. And it would also sort of match the silk of the lining more. But I've decided, as I was just doing it, I've decided that it really reminds me of Claude Monet's Water Lily series paintings. I know it doesn't actually look like them, but you know, paintings of that period, Impressionism, how they had just the dabs of paint. And if you look at them up close, it's just sort of splodges of colour. And I think it's the blue actually. It's very, I call it a Cinderella blue, but it's also a blue he uses a lot in the water lily series. So I think, yeah, I think I'll leave it as is, just because I love those paintings so much. And this, I mean, I don't expect other people to see it, but for me, that's what it reminds me of. So yeah, I'll just fill in those last few gaps and then we will be finished. I finished it. It's so pretty. And I love how the transparent glass blue beads go really dark when there's no direct sunlight, and they just absolutely get lighter and brighter and so gorgeous and cheerful when there's, like when they're out in the sun or in direct sunlight. Because I just had it over on my workbench and they look so cute. Whereas at night or when they're inside away from direct sunlight, they just get all dramatic and dark. It gives so much depth to it, because otherwise it's a bit sort of, you know, Hello Kitty, bright and cheerful and a bit ditzy. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I've never done a colour block one before, and I think I see more of these in my future too. It's adorable. And I think it would also look, this style at least, would also look really cute with the green one I made a few weeks ago or a month and a half ago. And I haven't put any beading on that one yet. So yeah, definitely thinking about something like this for that one too. Anyway, I'll get out the jacket. Oh, they look so cute. Adorable. Okay, it's time to cut this baby off the frame and start the long painstaking process of preparing it and then attaching it to the jacket. Some of you have asked that I show the process of cutting works off the frame in a little more detail. So the first step is to just lay it on your workbench and you just use your thread cutters or something sharp to just stab through the layers of netting. The first thing you do is cut off the wrists, the pieces that go on the wrists, and then once they're off, you cut off the larger piece, but don't cut anything off the frame until you're absolutely ready to sew it onto the jacket, because it's safer and more secure just leaving it on the frame for like a week or a month or however long you need. Just leave the frame standing up in your storage area or just against the wall or something, and it's fine like that. As soon as you cut it off the frame, it's much more fragile and delicate and you have to be so careful with it. So yeah, just leave it on the frame as long as possible, and then when you're finally ready to attach your work to the jacket, the beaded trim to the jacket, then it's time to cut it off. So just use your thread cutters or something sharp to stab through and make a little hole. Once you've got a little hole, then just carefully cut around each of the two cuff pieces and just slowly cut them out with a pair of scissors. When you cut, just make sure you leave enough of the backing fabric, so the netting around it, that you can easily fold it underneath and stitch it down. It just gives the whole piece more integrity and strength when you stitch it onto the jacket. And once they're done, just pop them aside, and then you have to cut out the difficult larger piece. So I will do that now. And once you stitch the two ends together, you just have to pin back the backing fabric, for netting, and then stitch it down. Okay, all the pieces are done and prepared, and they are ready to be sewn on. So it is time to attach them to the jacket. This part takes forever, but it does look adorable once it's done. And there we have the finished jacket. It's so cute. Well, thank you for watching, and have fun making your own Chanel style jacket with gorgeous beaded trim.